Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 6 of the greatest Pokemon podcast that you've ever heard in your life.
Yeah.
Potentially, maybe the only one you've ever heard in your life. I don't know.
True.
The second one is, they're equally likely.
I mean, easily. I think everyone is like pivoting to YouTube. You know, I got a comment last night. It's like, hey, why don't you put up your things on YouTube? And I was like, you know what?
Asked me that too.
I thought about that. But then, like, the YouTube... So, like, the precedent for YouTube is so, like...
Right. We may wake up and it's, like, 30 listens.
Yeah, that's true. But also, like...
We might accidentally get radicalized.
That too.
I feel like maybe short clips. Because then, like, you have to kind of do, like...
really solid moments within the show?
Yeah, like something like that, like talking about stuff like that, like the game and all this other stuff, and like cut up some cool little videos or something like that. That's what I kind of need.
Oh yeah, for sure.
To make it visually.
Watch me polishing off this box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch I bought yesterday.
Wow, a goat cereal.
Yes.
Mount Silver, episode 6. My name is Meelz. I'm here with the Platinum Chanel boy himself, Jeff.
Yeah,
and I am here with the cool trainer, the ace trainer himself.
What's going on, guys?
How's everyone doing? Wow, I'm incredibly hot where I'm at, but how's everyone doing?
I'm awesome. I'm cool, chilling. It's Sunday, man.
Yeah, this is my RNC Super Sunday.
The man of many podcasts, the man of many voices on very different podcasts. But yes, we're all going overtime over these last couple of weeks of doing multiple podcasts and all this other things. And make sure you guys check out all those podcasts on RNC Radio Live. You can follow us and subscribe. And this podcast is available on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes,
I wish.
Apple Podcasts,
Google Play, SoundCloud, and pretty much everywhere where notably you can get podcasts. But you can also see all of our other podcasts as well if you're interested in sports, or if you're interested in TV, or if you're interested in wrestling or various other things.
Everything, basically.
It is the full network. Make sure you check out RNC Radio Live, the network. It's the best one. But now we have to head into what we're talking about on this episode. And of course, we couldn't start off this episode without things from outside of the spectacle of this episode. And it is the latest update in Pokemon Sword and Shield news. Not much over the last month, to be honest with you.
Yeah, little things.
I think they've managed to put it on a schedule where they'll release something at the beginning of each month. And then I expect over the next month and a half, considering it's like we're at less than 50 days until this game drops, we're going to get the evolutions. We're going to get more regionals, possibly more Galarian versions.
Boys, I bricked my Switch.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
I
saw your tweet about it. What happened?
Let's talk about this real quick. Because
please.
I don't know what the fuck happened, but my only explanation, honestly, is that I left it completely off of the dock for like a really long time.
But I mean
I know. Yeah. But I put it on the dock and I got this like flashing green light, which is apparently terrible.
Yeah. And
then I charged it for hours off of the dock, like just directly.
Right.
Nothing.
Man, what?
I know. I'm going to try to... it could be worse. It's like $99, which sucks, but is also what I paid to have my 360 fixed in like 2008. Yeah. So I'm glad that they haven't, like, for some reason, they have not raised that price.
That's crazy, dude. Have you like just Googled the issue to see if anybody else dealt with it?
Yeah, and it sounds like if like the factory reset or whatever, like holding down the power button and shit, if that doesn't work, then it's bad.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Anyway, I'll be getting it fixed before.
Yeah. But still, dude,
what a disaster.
No, I remember experiencing that on my PS2 once. There was some error. I forgot some error where it was just ended up like you put in the disc and it would start like making loud, like buzzing noises and really start like fucking up all your game. So I had to return it to Sony, I guess. And, I went a week without a PS2, but I remember all of those sort of terrors. And that sucks, bro. Fuck. I don't even have one yet. I'm
Yeah.
still, I still gotta get one. I'm pretty much, you know,
You'll be,
what
I
was
mean,
weird?
dude, you'll be able to, you can walk in and grab one. You know,
Are they doing away with it or something? I felt like so I checked it on Amazon recently, and it's like there's only one left, and I don't know if they're supplying any more.
It
I
could just
think
be
that
like
had
a
to just be
holiday
like a
thing.
momentarily bullshit thing.
Yeah, I think it's like a holiday coming up type thing. Maybe
Or
I'm not
maybe
sure.
is there two versions of the Switch? Like there's one like an old version and a new version where it's like they like upgraded a battery or something. I
It's
feel like
possible.
That's totally likely.
Yeah, I'm not sure personally, but yeah, I'm not sure, dude. I've had my Switch since opening day. Like I got it like the day it came out, and I haven't personally had any issues with mine. But that like what Pat was saying is like, yo, that's ridiculous though. Like,
that is trash.
regardless, if you keep it, I don't care if my Switch has been off the dock for 2 years. If I
Yeah,
turn
it
it,
should
if I turn
fucking
it on,
charge. I mean,
right? If I turn it on, it should be able to charge. But anyways,
it's okay.
consumer
Pokemon-
anger, man, is real.
Very much so. Pokemon Sword and Shield news. We got the reveal of Surfetched.
Yeah,
Surfetch'd, the evolved form of Farfetch. It has
Yeah.
been a dream Pokemon, possibly for God knows how long. Finally giving Farfetch some, I guess, deserved shine. I don't know. How did you guys feel about Farfetch in general?
I mean,
I like Farfetch. I think it's kind of badass. I mean, shout out to StreamYard, the only streaming service with an inexplicable mallard as its logo.
That beta.
But Farfetch'd is great. I don't know that it needed an evolution. The evolution kind of looks a little more like Farfetch'd's like mean cousin in the Mafia more than an actual evolution of Farfetch'd itself. But it's pretty good. Could have been terrible.
It could have been terrible. They could have really messed this up, but I think they got it absolutely right to me. It looks cool. It works with the region, which is like most important. The name is cool. It looks like, to me, it looks like it's set up to be like a Super Smash Brothers character. Like, depending on how they're gonna push it in the anime, they're embracing the memes and all the funny stuff on Twitter about it. So I feel like it's definitely it's something that's supposed to work long term. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he's a good way of getting in. Like, I always complain that there's too many humanoid-like Pokemon, and this is a good way of kind of serving both things, that he's kind of humanoid, but still, it's obviously a fucking duck.
Yeah, obviously. So gonna read a few tidbits about Surfetch so everyone kind of get used to this. Apparently, it is a fighting type, which is completely different from the type that it is now.
Yeah.
Considering Farfetch is the normal and flying type, I believe. So this is a fighting type, so its type completely changes. For some reason now it weighs 257 pounds.
that sword and that shield, man.
I'm assuming it's the sword and the shield.
Yeah. I mean, that's just
those are
my.
like
That's my. How tall is it?
it's 2'7".
Oh yeah, damn yeah. I hope it's a sword and the shield.
This is a dense son of a bitch.
Surfetched, a noble knight. This is all of Pokemon's official website. It says a noble knight that fights fair and square. It says the Farfetch of the Galar region. I don't know if it's Galar or Galar still at this point, but we're gonna. If I feel fancy, I'm gonna go Galar. If I really need to get to something quick, I'm gonna say Galar.
Yes, traveling to Galar this weekend.
The Farfetch of the Galar region can evolve into Surfetched after experiencing many battles. They are calm and collected, and they make a point of always battling fairly. They are so noble in battle that they are often chosen as a motif for paintings. Of particular note is a painting famous in the Galar region depicts a duel between Surfetch and Escavalier. And Escavalier is a Pokemon that's featured in the region that we will be talking about today, the Univers region. But yeah, it's I'm not sure of it says it's going to evolve after many battles, so I'm not fully sure of what this evolution thing means.
It's rather a really high level evolution, or you got to have some stipulation to it or something.
Yeah. I mean, it says level 60 in the little screenshot thing.
Well,
it doesn't say that it evolves at level 60, but
yeah, you know how it is.
But it's at level 60 in this game, so obviously you're using it at a high level. Its new signature move is Meteor Assault.
Yeah. The reason why I was saying like it looks like it's built for something more than this game is because like giving it its own animation, its own move set. It's like, how big do you want this thing to be?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to have surely like a sword move that, you know, no one else will be able to do because they don't have an onion lance as part of their arsenal.
Yeah. Right.
Either Smash Brothers or a Pokken.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm saying like I really do think that it's fit for whatever, like something of that nature for sure.
One of my favorite things about Sirfetch'd is that I always loved Farfetch'd using Swords Dance, even though it didn't quite fit, but now it does, and it's great.
Now we're here. I used to use Farfetch'd. I think I used it in Pokemon Yellow. I forgot. I definitely used it either way. I'm glad it's getting its shine. It is an exclusive only to Pokemon Sword.
Right.
So
who is gonna be his Shield rival?
I don't know, man. I could see another Farfetch'd evolution in a different way. Honestly, I could see that. I mean, I've read some leaks and stuff, but like other than that, I don't know, man. I go with the double Farfetch'd if you want to.
I mean, it said in the bio thing that it fights against an Escavalier. I'm thinking maybe it's going to be. I don't know if they'll evolve like another evolution for Escavalier, considering it's already like fucking. You already have to trade to evolve it. Like, what else do we need to do at this point?
Right.
But it could potentially be another form, a Galarian version where it's just a giant shield as opposed to a giant sword. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
like reversal.
Yeah.
It's tough. I mean, like I said, we talked about, I think Meelz and I, we spoke about the leaks or whatever at some point, I think. But
the leaks came out, the initial leaks came out in May.
And
thus far, everything on that thing has been right.
The guy's legit. You know, the crazy thing about it is this past week, some merch, like some Pokemon merch stuff, ideas had like came up, and it was like all Diamond and Pearl based. So everybody thinks the remake is coming. Yeah. Go check this out. I'm gonna have to link you guys this. Like, it's pretty neat, man.
I didn't see that. Nah, I need to see that. I'm ready. My life is ready for that. But yeah, I mean, that's in Sword and Shield news. And in light anime news, Pokemon. Ash finally won the Pokemon League, and it became national real life news. It was on CNN and everything.
Yeah.
The fever pitch surrounding this was surprising to me.
I you know why? I love the general reaction to it, because the general reaction wasn't like, yes, he finally did it. It was like, about time, you loser. Like,
yeah.
It was like after 8 generations, after 8 times of trying to pull this off, like you won. People are like, oh no, but he won the Orange League before. I feel like the Orange League shouldn't count. But if that makes
Orange League doesn't count.
Yeah,
it's like an off-brand tournament.
It's 100% an off-brand tournament. Like, we never saw any of those characters again. I don't like Tracy.
Nope.
Everything like that. So, but Ash finally winning the Pokemon League. I'd actually been following it for the past couple of weeks, just considering like I'm always get into it around Pokemon League time, because that's really one of the more interesting things in the anime. And I was very surprised that they made him win, to be honest with you. They've made him lose consistently for the past 7 times. He's reached the finals before, but he finally won. And, you know, rightfully so. Twitter exploded. News outlets exploded. I think Pokemon got the you know, pre this game dropping, got a lot of good press, rightfully deserved.
It's a really funny way for everybody in the country to acknowledge that nothing in a cartoon has really changed over 11 years.
Right.
He's still that old.
He's still 10. He's still like, I mean, yes, he's still 10. It's an anime. I don't know what to tell you.
Still 10 years old.
It's fine with me.
Yeah,
I really don't care. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Early this morning, the official news for the new anime dropped. It's going to be just called Pokemon. There's no like Galar region or Pokemon Sword and Shield or anything like that. It's just called Pokemon. It features, once again, as we talked about a couple weeks ago, actually probably on the last episode. I'm saying a couple weeks ago, like it wasn't last episode. I'm gonna take this from Cerebi.com. It says following the leak of a poster on Friday, it is confirmed that Ash will return in a journey around the Pokemon world. In the announcement, it showed a trailer featuring Ash and a new trainer called Go. I'm assuming Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
And their partner, Score Bunny. Okay, so Score Bunny is getting the official push. The sorry Swabble, sorry Grookey.
Easiest thing to hawk stuffed animals of.
Yes.
Yeah. It's merch. They probably figured that out. These first few weeks.
Yeah.
Into this game, or first few months into the game.
It's a kicking rabbit. It'll just
who's selling the most right now? What can we do?
Jeff's all ready to take him to the soccer game.
Yeah,
bro, I'm telling you, he's a soccer player. But my issue is, I guess it's not an issue. I guess it's not an issue.
I was gonna say, what is your issue?
But no, this is my issue. My issue is it may be firefighting, and I'm just not interested in doing that again.
I thought it was confirmed.
I don't say
nothing's confirmed yet, but
they saw it in a still clip from one of the trailers that it had the move low kick. So people are thinking it's going to be, fighting. Now, it is what it is. I don't know, but
I agree with you though. I don't want to do that.
I can't deal with that again, dude. I'll just move on to something else.
Yeah, there was from the one YouTube account that I follows this. There were definitely some leaks regarding potential final evolution types. Gosh, I wish I remembered it now. I should have probably did it for this podcast. But let's see. I'm trying to see. Maybe I can scroll through it or something along those lines.
Neil, you gonna be watching the live stream, man, or what, man?
I'm probably
gonna have the live stream on the whole time.
24 hours? Why not? Yeah. Let's see. Oh no, it didn't leak. The actual types. It just leaked what they're probably gonna look like in the end. Swabble is going to be a chameleon, which is kind of cool. It's a little water chameleon.
Yeah, I did read this. Okay.
Score Bunny is going to be. It says Usagi. I'm not sure what Usagi is, unless it's a soccer player. I'm sure it is. And Grookey is going to be obviously a giant gorilla. So we have that to look forward to. From the starters, we haven't heard anything yet. I'm assuming before we get to the next episode, I'm just going to assume before we get to the next episode of this podcast, before the X and Y episode drops, we will 100% know what these evolutions will look like. Usagi is a rabbit in Japan. Rabbit. Okay, all right. So it's just a giant rabbit.
It's kind of like a Digimon.
Yeah, probably. But back to the anime. So Go is going to have his partner Score Bunny. It debuts on November 17th in Japan. No ideas if they'll do the co-premiere in the United States. Obviously, it is not popular that much here. And Go's goal is to get the mythical Pokemon Mew and to catch all Pokemon. So
old school goal. I like
it. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. He's obviously heard of Mew. He's a glisten. We have to find it. And that'll take him, I guess, through all regions for some reason. We will find out, the anime is worth a conversation as well. That maybe we could talk about a few in a future episode, but it's worth a conversation of how kind of disappointing it's been.
Yeah, I really like that idea though of exploring all regions, but it's more for selfish reasons on my own. It's like, okay, well, what can they do with a video game then if that's what they're going to do with the television show? I mean,
this is true.
You got to keep it all together.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Let's give me a game. All video games digitally.
Hey, but I wouldn't even be mad at that. Like,
honestly. Do it, you cowards.
Yeah, like if they were like, guess what? All the old Pokemon games for handheld are coming out on Switch store or something. I'd be like, okay, say less.
I considered Meelz going out and getting Black and White 2 this past week. I didn't have time to make it happen, and I wasn't about to start calling a bunch of GameStops, but I think I'm going to order it pretty soon.
On Amazon, it is very expensive.
Yeah, I know, but I mean,
I'm sure there's a used version, don't get me wrong, but the value of this game, considering I guess they don't sell it anymore, and I don't know if it's like the game's really good, so we're gonna make people pay a lot for it. I don't know if that's the thing.
I think it's still $50 at GameStop used.
There is a copy on. There's a copy on Amazon that is $114. There's a copy of White 2 that is $95, and the black version on Amazon is $99.
Are they open? They better be brand new.
I'm assuming they're brand new.
Yeah, they look new.
Oh, then
I was about to check the Prime only thing like a old jackass.
There's definitely used versions that I would buy. I've bought refurbished versions of games before, so it's not a.
The most I pay. I might have even said this on this podcast. The last game I remember buying. Oh no, I talked about ROMing it. Is it that Tactics Ogre game? I paid like. I think I only paid like $30 for it, but it was a Game Boy Advance game that I basically paid retail for. Like
right. You were just, I gotta have this.
But yeah, I had to have it, and I still I bought it like intending to get like the 100% ending, and I didn't do it, so that's why I downloaded that ROM.
That's hilarious. Okay, all right.
Man, I'm adding this to my.
Hey, it's only $35 at GameStop used.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
Used. Yeah, no, that's not bad at all. That's right there. That's right in business. So I would suggest that you buy that because it's a really, really good game. That we'll be talking about pretty soon. Quick question: how do you guys feel about the Mario Kart?
It's bad.
I heard you can't play against other humans. Is that true?
I believe so.
I turned it on.
That's crazy.
It's just not, I mean, I have it for Switch, and it's so good for Switch. But like,
of course,
that whenever you remember when the Mario game came out for iOS,
yes, the Temple Run video game,
right? And it's like I just knew it. I was like, no, this Mario Kart ain't gonna be it. Like, I love Mario Kart on console, and I feel like everybody should, like, down to them all. I've had some on like Game Boy and stuff like that, but they never been the same. I just think some games are just not meant for mobile.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
It's crazy.
Some of those Game Boy ones almost got there.
Almost, dude. Almost.
But they were never very good. I mean, I remember that first one that came out for Game Boy Advance, I think, and I was just like scrambling to buy it because I wanted it to be good. And then I'm like, oh, this isn't very good.
It's just not the same. Yeah, it's just not the same, man. But yeah, the one on Switch is really good. But yeah, this is like
it's a cash grab.
Yeah, you don't need it. Yeah,
you don't need it at all. It's a cash grab, and it's been a successful cash grab because it's a. I said cash grab. It's been a successful
like a Pokemon.
One. Yeah, I know.
Because it has, I think it's 1 day sales, like shattered whatever Pokemon Go's was.
I'm not surprised, man.
Yeah, so a lot more people are into Mario Kart. I mean, a lot of the kids at the job that I were working at were trying to play it out and see how it went, and they're feeling it a little bit, but like really not. I'm interested in if people will delete the game, kind of like how I deleted Pokemon Masters from my phone.
I did. Yeah.
I was like halfway through downloading it, and I looked at how long it had been since I started downloading it, and I pulled the plug.
Yeah, it's a large game for my phone. I'm not really with it, especially on this new iOS that is that's still being tinkered out. Let's get into the game. We get into the game this week. This episode we were talking about the 5th generation of games. It is a rare occurrence because it really is only 4 games and they're all interrelated with each other, and there are no remakes. There is legitimately, it is Pokemon Black and White, and it is its sequel, Pokemon in Black and White 2. Pokemon Black and White released in Japan September 18, 2010, North America March 6, 2011. Still with their, Japan not dual releases yet. I think that changes with the next generation. But Black and White 2 was also released 2 years later, June 23rd, 2012, and October 7th, 2012 in North America. Where are you at this point in your life? I think we were all generally, we're all the same age.
When was this?
Whatever.
Spring of 2011.
Spring of 2011.
I was in college. This was one of the rare occurrences where everyone else in my college that was like my general friends, close friends, like Carlos and like all the other people, were also playing this game. So I had a lot of fun with this game. Don't mind the machine, the fucking motorcycle in the background.
Okay. We live in a society.
Yeah, no, I was in my second apartment with my friend Scott that we had here in Atlanta. But I wasn't in college anymore though. I was wilding out that year. I remember I was wilding out that year. But yeah, no, it was a good time though.
Yeah, this was I think I referenced this maybe in the last podcast, but this was my second semester of college, senior year. So I had, very little left to do. I was partying a lot at night, but between the hours of 10 a.m. and 5 p.m., I was going to one class a day and then going back to my apartment and playing this game and watching Lost reruns. And it's one of the fondest memories I have of college and probably life in general.
Yeah, it's the same for me. It's just going back and experiencing this game and going through it with all my friends, and as they're all simultaneously playing, because I think it was the remake. I think it was Heart Gold and Soul Silver that kind of got everyone really kind of back into it. They're like, oh yeah, they remake it, and then when Black and White came out, everyone kind of hopped on that bandwagon as well. But as far as the sort of development of this game, as opposed to why they chose Black and White 2 as opposed to the Pokemon Gray, which was the rumored release, and I think the actual title was trademarked. So I think Pokemon Gray, because I remember those were the signs of okay, so the next game is coming out, Pokemon Gray, obviously, because Black, White, Gray, whatever. However, Junichi Masuda, the god, stated that during a Reddit AMA that Pokemon Gray did not fit thematically with the story of the game.
How did they fuck that up?
I think it's because everything is supposed to be black or beyond the title Black and White. I think they chose that as the general motif of the game. It's
actually, okay, that's fair. I feel that.
And they didn't want to merge. They didn't want to merge those worlds for the sake of a title. They didn't want to.
Yeah, I mean, I also don't like promoting the word gray. It just doesn't work for me.
Very
from a marketing standpoint, yeah.
It's very neutral. You can't really sell things with gray. Black and
I'm
white.
a huge fan of gray as a color in a lot of things, but but it doesn't. It's very drab.
Also, for this game, they installed an anti-piracy patch.
Yeah,
for losers like me who would play it on a emulator. Luckily, at that time, I bought it. I just bought the DS. I knew that it wouldn't hold up on emulators. I knew the technology had not gone that far.
Yeah.
So I bought the DS shortly after. I think it was for Heart Gold and Soul Silver when I bought the DS. And yeah, I mean, I didn't have to go through any of that, but yeah, they were combating piracy as most things in 2011.
Yeah.
Not a victimless crime. You wouldn't steal a purse.
I remember those ads.
That never stopped me, by the way.
Oh my god. But this game, Pokemon Black and White 2, I mean, it was such an advancement in this game. It was weird because it was a 3D game, yet they had come out with the 3DS, but none of these titles were for the 3DS.
Yeah.
So it was kind of an interesting, route and sort of they took for this game because it was one of the last major releases on the DS because the 3DS had come out and was on its way out, and it was weird that these games were still going to be for the regular DS. That's the lasting memory I had in my mind of reading things when this game was coming out. But this game is
just Meelz real quick. Just in response to that, it's always been weird to me that these are never launch titles ever. But I think it ends up kind of working out for them because even though, we're saying, it's strange that they're putting out flagship titles at the end of console life for a lot of these, that it kind of allows, if you're one of the people who's going to be waiting to get the new one, it kind of allows them to make it seem like they're not completely fucking you over.
Right.
And the Pokemon games are also on the upper end of complexity especially for handheld games. So it probably behooves them to get the system out and then, let, the first round of iPhones always has hardware issues. And then 2-3 months later, they're fine. It's kind of like that. So by the end of the DS's life, they knew everything they could do with it, and they could put out a title, under those circumstances. But it's still weird that they don't ever launch with these.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I get it, but it's also kind of weird. Also, I think how long it takes to actually make these games. I think we as a community itself maybe vastly underrate how long it actually takes to make these games. Like probably the next title after Sword and Shield is probably being developed now. Or at least the ideas
probably was 4 years away.
Yeah. And it's probably the ideas being developed. They're probably like taking trips to whatever country they need to go to get any notes or whatever to deliver that. So I think it's a testament to like this game, but how long this took. I mean, this game to me is incredible. It takes everything from Gen 4, which we considered one of the best generations, and kind of takes it to the next level, even from an aspect of like the scenery to this game, the 3D models of this game, the cutscenes of this game, everything like that kind of takes it to the next level. And I want to transition from there, from just the overall game itself to the setting of this game, because it takes place in Unova, which is notable because it's the first region that is not associated with the first 4 regions.
Whole another part of the world.
Yeah, it's a departure from the Japanese influence of this game. The entire region was designed with inspirations of from New York City, kind of. As someone who lives in New York, I get it, but not really. Like Castelia
not
City.
A ringing endorsement at all.
Well, yeah, Castelia City, I'm there. The mountains and shit, nah, I don't know.
That's upstate, Meelz. I don't know if it is. I have no idea what the geography's like.
No, but the geography of this game, I mean, it's still a game, so I get it. They have to really, with the metropolitan
It couldn't be
areas,
deep New York City.
Yeah, they couldn't just make New York City. Like it would be,
that would be
no way
really
they're making the Bronx
if
and
you
Queens.
could never leave an enormous city for the entire game.
I mean,
it'd be kind of impressive, but it'd be a little claustrophobic.
Yeah, it'd be a little bit. Even but I even feel like even in that general city, like Castelia City, which is the big metropolitan area, like they get it right, but no, it's still kind of a confusing city anyway. I remember going down several alleyways thinking I'd get to one place, and I couldn't get there until.
I feel like they've never nailed the big city thing.
Yeah, they got it worse in X and Y.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that city sucked.
Even like Celadon and Goldenrod, the layouts aren't actually very well done. They're confusing.
Let's see. They've got a lot of different things. I love the scenery here just because they have that large urban area, diverse people. Shout out to Black people in this game for the first time.
Yeah.
Or at least, I would say.
They left Asia.
I would say.
Yeah, that's true. They did leave Asia.
Lots of different items. We got the bridges, which are great. The Two Blind Bridge and the Sky Arrow Bridge, to me, which are fantastic.
Seeing some of those zones for the first time was just breathtaking.
Yeah. And then besides it being like a great way to hatch eggs as well, like
oh my god,
run up and down.
It's just with the sun rising and the sun setting. They had the amusement parks. I love the what was it? The amusement park. What's that thing at the amusement park? I fucking forgot what it's called.
Carousel?
The carousel or the Ferris wheel or everything like that. And they have the subways as well. I mean, I think this was a very well thought out game in terms of getting that metropolitan area type of feel and adding those kind of landmarks as well. And they had the same, you're going to get the same Pokemon as in the landmarks. You're going to get a forest. You're going to get a mountain. You're going to get some water. You're going to get, although not a lot of water in this game, to be honest with you. Kind of refreshing.
Not a lot. Yeah, no pun.
If you were using water, I don't think you had to surf that much in this game. But yeah, it's a great departure. Unova to me, one of the
it's one of the more prettier and well structured to me regions.
Yeah, I would say so.
They went hard on animation in this game.
Yeah, I mean it's partially due to just how good the animation is, but I mean I would agree that it's one of the best regions.
Unova, as we move on from Unova, let's move into the 5th generation of Pokemon, because to me, well, one of the most notable aspects of this game is if you played the original Black and White, and not Black and White 2, but if you played the original Black and White, this was the first time since Kanto where you couldn't get any of the previous Pokemon. Well, Kanto, you couldn't get any previous Pokemon at all. But in Black and White, you started out with 150 some odd Pokemon that were in the game, and you had to get used to them, and you had to know them, and you had to use them, and you had to know all their names and all this other stuff, because those are the only Pokemon they used. They didn't filter it with any other Pokemon from any other gen,
right?
Which I thought was a great move. To get to people, and I'm still surprised that they don't do this with future gens. Like, even with the Sword and Shield coming up, everyone's, because now everyone's wondering, like, yo, are we gonna get this Pokemon, or are we getting that Pokemon? If they kind of just said, like, hey, these are all you're gonna get, I think it would be a little bit better. But how did you guys feel about that aspect, and did you get used to any of the new Pokemon in this game?
I think probably because of this, I know this generation the best actually since Gold and Silver, I would say. And we're going to talk about this in a minute. I don't love the starters, but this gen does have some of my most memorable Pokemon, I would say.
A lot of unique Pokemon. There's a lot of Pokemon in this gen that like look amazing. You may not like run them from a competitive standpoint, but you just love the way that they look. They did a really great job, like, as far as animating, designing.
Let's talk about the starters for a bit. We can't move past this without talking about the starters. We had Snivy, the grass starter. We had Tepig, the fire starter, and of course Oshawott, the water starter. Who did you guys pick?
I picked Oshawott because he was the cutest at the time.
Yeah, I think actually it was either him or Snivy, because I do not like Ignite or Emboar. I think they're losers.
Well, here's another clash of the firefighting type.
How do they keep doing it? Why do they keep doing it?
I don't know, dude. It's like, because to me, and here's my main issue with it. It kind of like, first of all, nothing's gonna be better than Blaziken in that situation.
Never.
So you're kind of downplaying your future releases every time, because Emboar is just. Why would you, if I'm saying as a Pokemon trainer, right? Say a fucking America, our world, right? That's what we live in. Bro, there's no way in hell I see somebody across the street with a Blaziken and I got my fucking Emboar. I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah. It's true.
I'm going to be upset about it.
The way Emboar is set up, which is possibly one of the worst starters of all time. It's crazy.
If the final evolution is bad, that basically makes anything else, it doesn't matter. It
doesn't matter.
Tepig is cool, but I don't. I'm sorry.
Tepig is like the best one out of that three, which is bad.
Yes. A cute pig. Come on.
At this point, the competitive level had grown so much. The fact that this Pokemon was strong with attacks but not fast at all immediately made it loser.
You're a loser. Yeah, you're cooked, man. I can't.
There's no way you could use it. It's slower than more than half of the game.
And like Blaziken's one of the faster Pokemons in the game, like in the meta in general.
Yeah. I picked Oshawott in this. Neither of the. You know what? I think from a design standpoint, Superior to me looks the best.
I like Samurott.
I don't like Samurott.
Samurott looks like a Digimon.
It does, but
that's not necessarily. That's not bad.
No.
Shout out to him.
I like it.
I didn't like it. I don't know. And then it's weird because it can also like use something as a sword. It's weird. It's the way it's set up. I don't. They
gave Superior those little arms, those little leaf arms, man. It really pissed me off. Man.
I think they just kind of dropped the ball on Superior.
It doesn't look like I feel like it's a snake.
It doesn't, but it looks like a water snake kind of. Like it looks. It looks like,
I don't know,
man. It's a snake. I think, you know what? I like the design of it. I'm going to say that I like the general. If I had to pick anything with like possibly the most flexible Pokemon in this game, it's this, even though it's still not even that flexible. Like learning Dragon Tail, like kind of just makes it an inch above the other two. But none of these in terms of starters were really anything to sort of, throw anything about. But is there any other Pokemon that you enjoyed from this generation?
Yeah, for sure there are.
I can tell you what I hated.
Tell me what you hated.
Who'd you hate?
The three monkeys, man.
Yeah, man, I don't like them either.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Those monkeys are
Meelz,
terrible.
I'm not even looking forward to catching them on Go.
Yes, I mean, well, you can only catch one in whatever region you're at. So.
Oh, I didn't know that, but
Yeah.
but Pansage, Pansmear,
Let me tell you.
I don't like.
You don't need this series of stupid things when you already have like. If you're gonna waste 6 slots, yeah, there's so many monkeys, and make them different, type them differently than the starters. Why are you sticking to pick a different?
Clip that for me,
pick a different trio of types. You could do it.
Clip that for me. There's so many monkeys. Just clip that for me, man.
Yeah.
That was because if you don't know what we're talking about, you'd be like, "What the hell are they saying?" But there's so many monkeys, dude. It's like, stop it.
None of them are especially good.
No. They've Primate has even it's just Primate, man.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite Pokemon in this generation, I know Meelz, dude, fucking Whimsicott, man.
Whimsicott is a troll.
I love it's such a dope Pokemon, man.
It's dope. Don't get me wrong. It's one of my favorites. I love it because it's a troll. I love it because generally its abilities, which it just allows it to be a troll, is one of the best in this game. I love Whimsicott.
Did they fumble Trubbish?
Trubbish, no. I think Trubbish is.
I love Trubbish.
Give it a Galarian version. Why not?
I do.
Galarian Trubbish.
It's just a different type of Trubbish. They're more sustainable in the Galarian.
Oh yeah, these Trubbish, what are they? Just bags?
They're just recycling bins.
Oh no, don't do that. We can't do them like that.
And there's 3 of them, and one's for paper, one's for plastic.
Bring it out. We got Tricycle on deck.
Galvantula is another one of my favorite Pokemon from this generation. I actually used it competitive a few times.
Galvantula is pretty good.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite Pokemon in general. I can't wait to catch it on Go, by the way.
I don't know if he's actually especially good stat wise, but I liked Sandile, Krokorok, and Crocodile.
Man, first of all, the designs are incredible.
Turning him red in the final one, great decision.
The name's incredible. The look, the personality, perfect. But they fumbled it because I wanted it to be competitive. It's one of those cool looking Pokemon. You're like, I want to use this.
And he's not that good, right?
He's not great.
And especially if you have a third evolution, it has to be competitive.
I think so, man. It's you gotta give it something. But I also feel like Pokemon, they're kind of getting into this zone of not making things that don't matter. I think even visually, if a Pokemon looks weird or small, maybe it'll have a unique ability to give it strength in the meta. I think they're trying to do better with that. But it's like Ferrothorn in this generation. I think Ferrothorn is awesome. It wiped away barriers. It got used a lot around this time in the meta. I don't know if you remember, Meelz.
No. I remember because this is the game. Honestly, when you talk about Pokemon in this game, this was the generation, the black and white one, where I said my goal is to legitimately catch them all. I didn't care. I didn't care before. I don't care anymore. But my goal was, all right, I'm filling up this Pokédex because that's what I'm going to do over the summer, and that's what I'm going to do. And honestly, I reached pretty close, but still didn't do it because I didn't feel like contacting people to trade various things.
Yeah.
But it's so good, and
we're gonna catch them all on Sword and Shield, guys.
Let's do it. I've never done it.
We gotta catch them all.
I'll do it.
We'll be able to trade a lot easier with each other.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
My favorite Pokemon of all time is in this generation, and it is the Scraggy Scrafty family.
Yeah.
Scraggy is so funny to me. I don't dislike him. He's just hilarious.
Scraggy's got Supreme hoodie on.
Easy. I don't know if it's foreskin or whatever it is, but it's
Don't do him like that, man. Come on, man. Don't do him like that, man.
Yeah, come on, man.
Is there everything like that? But no, it's his extra. It's his extra skin, obviously.
It's just a really cool. I'm curious to how the design even came about because he has this very chill vibe, but he's a solid Pokemon in general too.
Yeah, he's a bulky fighting option, dark option as well. So it's kind of a thing. It's a lizard. Molted skin, which is its hoodie, It's stereotypical of various urban youth subcultures, namely hip hop and punk, which kind of goes with the area that we're in, with this very urban area that is a lot of Unova. I learned to love a lot of Pokemon from this game. I think.
How about Haxorus?
Haxorus I used, and I got to
badass.
That's the first Pokemon I ever got to level 100.
Just straight up. That's awesome.
Straight up. I got 100% to level 100. It was that's how much I played this game.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
He's great, and there's another third level evolution, I think, who's like really good. You know, I don't like the Thunder Trio either. I just don't. Like
you mentioned this. This is like your third time saying this.
Yeah,
we'll get there. We'll get there. Any other sort of? I love.
I want to talk about N, even though this is more like anime based. But N was associated with the Pokemon that from this gen that I think they wanted to be Lucario.
Yeah, it was the kind of mascot of the gen.
Right. It just did, but it just never.
I think because you know what they put it in the movie, one of the movies. I don't remember which one because I don't remember which one. Gave up on the movies, but they definitely put it in the movies. But you're talking about the Zoroark.
Yeah, correct. And they're really cool. Like I think one of the better designs, one of the better dark type, an amazing ability that nothing else really has still.
They revealed the first evolution pretty early in the phase, so you know they wanted it to be.
They wanted it to be something, man. I don't know if it never like clicked 100% with people, and it also wasn't like crazy good competitively. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, it's it's like you got to kind of work with its ability in a way. It's like. There's a lot of other Pokemon that can do that, like do a stat-based thing better. So the ability wasn't good enough to like put it over, somebody else who had better stats.
I love in this game. I'll go through a few Pokemon I love Excadrill. I love Conkeldurr. I love Seismitoad's just design, just like how it looked. And you know what? I'm good at this. Is a weird chill for me because I like most of the Pokemon. I like Throwing Sock. I like all of his other
Jellicent.
Yeah, Jellicent.
Jellicent's gonna be a beast on Go. I think
Jellicent. Its Ghost and Water type made it so unique.
Did you read the story on those and how like they didn't like the design of it?
No,
at first, like the first design was more like more of a scary.
It probably was actually a jellyfish.
You know who posted it? Our guy,
Dr. Lava.
Yeah, he posted the story behind Jellicent.
Gotcha. I gotta read that up. I like Darmanitan, not the psychic one, but the actual one that like kills people in the meta. Very good, like late game sweeper.
We gotta one day. I want to do a whole episode about these strange Pokédex entries.
Okay. You can definitely do that.
I think it's so interesting. I think you'll.
It is an amazing idea.
Like they're so interesting and so weird and like so not rated G. Like some of them are like if a little kid read that, they might be freaked out by it. You know what I mean?
I mean, even like the whole Lavender Town thing, they basically had to phase out.
Yeah, they had to. I mean, in the original, he literally admits to, his Pokemon being murked off, and you just fought it. In SSN, you literally killed his Pokemon, and they just let it rock. Anyways,
there's so much various things in this gen. I loved it. I can go on for days about it. I love most things about this gen, even the ones that don't matter, like Emolga and like
Electros. You like Sawbuck?
Sawbuck, no. I like the Horn Leech thing, but other than that, no.
I like the deer-esque type Pokemon, but I feel like they always get wrong. Even in X and Y.
Deers aren't like they're not.
I know you can't like
deers aren't cool, unfortunately.
But
thanks to Bambi.
Kind of have accused it up by now. They needed to make a legendary one at some point. But like now
they did. They
did from X and Y.
X and Y. The legendary is a deer.
Oh yeah.
Also, I mean, and technically,
that kind of proves my point because by then they had fucked up deer too much.
Yeah. I mean, technically, Arceus is like some type of some type of deer.
I feel like it's a
thing.
It's a
or just an alien.
Horse. I don't know.
Whatever. Anyways, yeah. Sawbuck is not good.
Can we talk about how there's a Pokemon in this gen named Durant?
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's true. It's a tiny.
it doesn't evolve or anything. They kind of did Durant dirty.
Yeah, maybe they'll give it something.
Just like Golden State.
Yeah.
Just like Golden State.
Maybe they'll give it something. Let's go into the legend of this game, which to me probably the most underwhelming thus far. But it gets more underwhelming as we go forward, so it's not like it's anything. After this point, the underwhelming thing just becomes a general trend. But you had the Swords of Justice,
Corny,
Cobalion, Terrakion, Verizon. I don't know.
Verizon.
Virizion.
Hey, if you look at the way the Pokédex is, I feel like Valcarana was supposed to be one of them, and they just said, "All right, we're going to give you a first evolution."
Yeah,
like look
that's another instance where that happens kind of often.
Yeah, like look how they sit on the Pokédex, and look at their designs. Like it's like they were like, "Oh, we're gonna make one more. And it's gonna be Valcarana," and then like they were like, you know what? We'll give them an early evolution, make it evolve way late to where you don't even want to do it, and we'll take them off that mystical spectrum.
None of these are anything worth talking about, to be honest with you. They're very much so. They're part of the game, but they're not.
I found love in the Thundurus and Landorus, but that's only from a competitive standpoint.
The Forces of Nature trio.
So I know exactly what Pat means, because if it wasn't for them competitively being good, I would not care about them.
The Forces of Nature trio also like part of the game, but not intertwined too much into the story. They're more intertwined into the region itself.
Yeah, which is cool, but they didn't like make that enough of a point.
Yeah. I only like Reshiram and Genesect probably.
I think what Diamond and Pearl got right is they kind of took every legendary and decided, hey, how can we incorporate this into the story through the region? So you had these trios that can help with the other trios, which help with another duo or something like that. Whereas this one is kind of just a lame duck kind of situation, because it's really black and white, and it's about Reshiram and Zekrom, and then eventually Kyurem. Let's see. That the Tao trio represent yin and yang. Zekrom yin, Reshiram yang, and Kyurem is Wuji, which is like the absence of both yin and yang, or all this other stuff like that. And then they had the DNA splicers play a large part, which make Kyurem actually more powerful in this game by merging them with Zekrom and Reshiram, which was something I never thought they would do in this game. Actually, you know what? I'm lying. I always thought they would merge Pokemon eventually. I'm surprised they haven't merged more.
I just didn't think it would get like commercial though.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't merged more. To be honest with you,
from a legend standpoint, I don't really want to see like, if they do it to a regular Pokemon, it needs to be fairly exclusive.
Right. The Mythical Pokemon, and Mythical Pokemon was a concept introduced in Generation 5, which means prior to Generation 5, everything was just legendary. And then it was like, you know what? Mythical, because we need an excuse of why you can't get these unless it's an event.
I don't. Honestly, you guys on this show, throughout the show, you're going to hear me call Mythical Pokemon legendary.
Almost sorry guys.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out.
I'm just not going to do it.
Victini, which was given out in an event at the beginning of the game, so you never really had to work to get it.
Victini is a fire Mew.
Fire Mew. Keldeo, which was this pony.
Trash.
Which had another form.
Trash. It looks very like My Little Pony, actually. Like the design is not great to me.
Considering you had the other horses, now it's just like, hey, here's a pony who's probably stronger than all of them.
Man, they ain't got a pony right since Ponyta.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. 25 years.
You don't like Zeb Striker? Oh, that's a zebra.
No, I don't. Well, but still, I mean, same body. That body style, they have not been able to get it right.
You don't like the horse and Sun and Moon, the ground?
No, no.
Oh, Mudbray?
Yeah. No.
That guy is a good tank early in the game.
It is. It can get you through some shit, but like I don't like it though.
Meloetta, both of them to me are pretty forgettable.
Awful.
But of course, the possibly the most fire one is Genesect.
100%.
It has the actual interesting background. I love Pokemon with backgrounds of like they were victims of science.
Yeah.
And it's just like now they morph into something else because of science.
I love Genesect, man. I love Genesect has a cool typing. It's not
like
anything.
a Gundam.
It is like a Gundam, and yeah, like Mill said, human-made stuff is always cool because we always do some fucked up shit to it. So
yeah, they always got a background for it. Speaking of backgrounds, I'm only doing this because, let's see how we got thus far in this episode. Okay, the story of the game. What a story! The story is what really drew me in and what really kept me here, and which is why this is one of my favorite games. Just period. Because the story of Black and White exceeds it. I think as I was playing it, I didn't really get the full grasp of it until years later on when so many other terrible stories came out. And I realized that this one was actually pretty good. And it probably didn't hit me until near the end of how good this actually was.
Most definitely.
The story of this game, or at least sort of the protagonist, antagonist in this game, you're the protagonist. You're actually, the characters' names in this game are Hilda and Hilbert, which is
Hilda. What? Yeah, this is Switzerland.
Yeah, Hilda and Hilbert. You encounter Team Plasma pretty early in the game, a group who ideals is essentially to spread that to sort of separate Pokemon and humans, and that humans shouldn't control Pokemon. You know, the same old jibber jabber. They want to liberate Pokemon from their trainers because they feel like it's going to be a better world. And the person who is the head of this, or at least the face of this at this point, is the man named N. N is the anti-villain of the game. He is I don't know if you'd call him the antagonist. He's something in this game because he's in
it for himself.
Yeah, he
is and he isn't, because
he's not really a bad guy. He's not really a good guy either.
He was someone who, in terms of just the backstory of it is, he was abandoned by his family. He ended up getting picked up by Getsis, who was actually the true villain of this game. Getsis tries to instill his own sort of, values and things of that Pokemon need to be separated from their trainers. He grows up with that kind of radical mindset. He tries to sort of spread that throughout the entire game. You encounter him various moments. You encounter him at the amusement park. You encounter him at the Ferris wheel. You encounter him at the subway station. You encounter him, blah, blah, blah.
He feels the most like a traditional anime villain, almost, or not even like villain necessarily, but like, a character who
has motives.
Has motives,
well,
and like is just kind of around the whole time.
You know why? Because he also didn't look as eccentric as Getsis looks.
Yeah, Getsis looks like a
who has a cloak and an evil eye. So it's not like, oh, that's a clear evil guy. You'll never say that. He kind of looks like a traditional anime villain as well. So they groom N, and you see this in the beginning of the game where he puts the crown on him. I don't know if it's actual or metaphorical or something, but he grooms him to be the leader of the leader, and I use air quotes, the leader of Team Plasma. And you go through this entire game and you try to sort of instill your ideals on him, and he tries to instill his ideals in you. And eventually you meet Getsis in the 7 Sages. You have to defeat them at various points throughout this entire game. It all comes to a head where N ends up beating Alder, the Pokemon League champion, and assumes his role as the league champion, kind of. Shout out to Alder, just becoming a loser just off the bat.
Immediately.
But he assumes the rule there. Team Plasma eventually reveals that, hey, we've actually built the secret base under the Pokemon League, and now it's going to come up from the ground. In very cool fashion, as you see the animation in this game. Now you have to defeat N. You defeat N by also capturing whatever opposite thing your game is. If you have the Light Stone, I think it's Zekrom or something like that. So you have to catch up. You have to essentially catch a legendary. You defeat N. Getsis comes out, says, haha, N, you're such a loser. I can't believe you. actually, my plan wasn't that all along. My plan was to separate humans from Pokemon so I could be the only one with Pokemon so I could rule the world.
This is maybe the craziest one of these plans yet.
His location is wild too.
It is. You know
Like,
what
that
my
was a
favorite part
beautiful
of this
scene.
ending sequence was? The gym leaders part. Now, the gym leaders, when they come out and you were like, oh man, you got to face these 7 sages, and they're like, we're gonna whoop your ass. And then the gym leaders like, not so fast, and like all the gym leaders come out. I was like, wow, this is so Disney.
But it's like the most like usually like in these stories, some random person just shows up and they're like, remember, I was important halfway through the game.
Yeah.
And this was actually a little bit more capitalizing on.
Yeah. Well, so
actual
here's the
events
thing:
of
the
the
gym
game.
leaders throughout this entire game, because they're not only just gym leaders in the game, they have like actual like things in the story. Like some of them
Aren't they
are
like some of
artists.
them are like the mayor?
Yeah.
They got real jobs
the,
going on.
They're the sheriff of the town, or the mayor, or like the airline person, or like an artist, or like the art.
It gives the gym leaders, you know, some backstory and some.
Yeah, so
you know,
that's
something
why
real.
you actually remember them as you know, in this point. But they all, the thing they have in common is they all know of Team Plasma, and they all try to combat them and try to protect them from taking over their town at some point. And for them to kind of show up at the end and really kind of like even the odds a little bit, and they're like, listen, we'll take these guys, you head up there and you beat N or anything like that. It's just fantastic, and I think it's one of the highlights of this entire game. Is this incredible deep story. You end up defeating Getsus. You know, he gets locked up, Avi. He flies off on whatever opposing legendary that he has and doesn't get arrested. And that's kind of like how sort of the game ends, except you gotta like leave, and then I think you travel to the other side of Unova, and then you actually have to beat the Elite Four this time and actually beat the champion, because apparently none of that counted. Like beating them the first time
Didn't count, man.
Didn't count at all.
Fake stakes.
But yeah, and then
definitely did hop on his legendary and say, well, see y'all later.
and just dipped. He's like, you'll never catch me, coppers. Team Plasma returns in Black and White 2. I'm joining Black and White and Black and White 2 in this story because we're already here. Team Plasma in Black and White 2, headed by Colrus. And I think gets us again. They're not out to spread ideals. They're out to domination and revenge. They freeze the entire city in Black and White 2. Which
My
is
type of click, man. Click.
Boy, they froze Opaloosid City.
They froze it.
Just in general, it was a great visual. N shows up. He gets slapped by Getsus again. This is all the things that I wrote. And he gets slapped by Getsus again, and his effective legendary is stolen to be fused with Kyurem. However, the main player now beats Getsus and ironically liberates both dragons from his evil thing. So you get to liberate Pokemon from the bad guys as the bad guys try to liberate Pokemon from you. The irony, Black and White.
It's a great story.
It's a great story. I love this game. But that's the story of the game. Very fair. Both games, I think both the stories of both games work out pretty well, to be honest with you. We haven't talked a lot about Black and White 2 and sort of the hell aspect of it, but it was essentially a remixed version of Black and White 1, except it had all the old Pokemon that like infiltrated in it. Like you could catch Eevee in the wild, which was still a wild concept to me.
Yeah.
You could capture what early in the game? I forgot. It was whatever revolves into Lucario. Riolu, you could catch that earlier in the game. Various new gym leaders, a whole bunch of things. Let's get into the story of the game part 2, the main game. In the beginning, your rivals are Charon and Bianca. Not much to say. They're kind of like friends, except Charon is kind of an asshole and Bianca is kind of a ditz. But still a very cool, set of rivals, sure. Professor Juniper, first female professor in the game.
Professor Juniper. Took way too long, man.
Way too long. Juniper, she's out here, except you get her confused for her father, which is also Professor Juniper, so he'll meet you halfway there.
Yeah.
Let's see. The gyms of this game. Do you want to play the gym game? Sure. Do you guys remember the gym leaders in this generation?
I might remember them better than usual.
Okay. So we have the first gym leaders of this game. Silent, Chili, Cress. Do you remember what type of Pokemon that they use?
The first battle is a 3-way.
It's 3 gym leaders. There are 3 gym leaders at the beginning.
Wait,
there goes my I'll remember more than usual.
Don't they have the stupid monkeys?
They had the monkeys, of course.
Oh, yeah. Rough. Wow. That sucks.
The second one was Lenora. She gave you the basic badge.
Kind of insulting.
Lenora.
I'll give you a hint. I gotta be the first.
She's normal type.
Yeah. But what did she have though?
Oh,
she had Herdier and
Did she have the chinchilla?
No, she had the
Watchhog.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She had the Watchhog that had. If in the anime, it was pretty terrifying. Then the next one you had Berg. Obviously, he gives you the insect. Oh, if I say all these badges, you're gonna get this. But Berg, he was an artist. Give you the insect badge. Obviously bug type. He had the Sawaddle, another Pokemon that I kind of liked, and I actually got that as a shiny in the game. That's how much I played this game. I got 2 shinies in this game.
That's
really
extremely good.
I got Mienfoo and I got Sawaddle, both shinies in this game.
That's incredible, dude.
Let's see. We have Elisa, the model, gym leader of Nimbasa City.
I pulled up on her a few times.
Gives you the Bolt badge. Her team features Emolga. Let's see what else. I think it was the beginning part of the Electros tree thing and Zebstrika. We had Clay of Drifville. He was the sheriff of Drifville City. He gave you the Quake badge.
Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Ground
he
gym
definitely
leader.
Voted for Trump.
Crocorock. Yeah, Excadrill, Crocorock, and Palpitoad.
He didn't deserve Excadrill.
No. Skyla. If you can remember Skyla
now. I had a crush on Skyla.
Really?
Yeah, she had flying types.
Yeah. What was her main Pokemon, if you can remember that?
Oh, I actually don't.
Did she have
it's that hideous guy.
The dragon belt? Oh, the dragon bat. Did she have that?
No.
She had that swan. What's that swan's name? I don't remember.
You're gonna kick yourself. Swanna.
Oh God, yeah. She had Swanna. Yeah, she had a Swanna.
But she also had Swoobat, who
she did have she had Swoobat. She didn't have
Swoobat's kind of.
She didn't have his evolution. That's what I was thinking.
Swoobat is the evolution.
Oh no, Swoobat. Yeah, I'm thinking about X and Y right now. Oh my God.
Yeah, you are thinking about X and Y.
Yeah,
it's easy to confuse. Both bats. It evolved from Woobat to Swoobat.
That's right.
Or Swoobat, depending on
Swanna.
Which set.
Her Black and White 2 lineup is way harder.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Black and White 2. They actually gave you a hard mode in the game. So
yeah.
I'm about to get it just for that.
Bryson gives you the freeze badge. He had ice types. He had Cryogonal, which is a devastating snowflake.
Literally.
And Vanillish, which is a devastating ice cream. And
I will say the Pokemon in this gen that are in the new one that are like Vanillish, they've gotten like slightly better at like extreme gimmicks like that, but I don't love Vanillish.
It's like, how was this? How like my thing
this isn't natural.
Right. How was this born? Like who came up? What power? Arceus is wilding, dude. He is wilding.
Come on, man.
He's over there. I'm gonna make this one look like an ice cream.
He's hungry. And the dragon types, we had Drayden, famous for his upside down beard that grows from the bottom up.
Yeah.
And Iris, who, as you know, one of the people in the anime who followed Ash around. You also had Black and White 2, which featured a couple set of gym leaders. Sharon took over as the basic badge giver. That was formerly a rival of the game. You had a Roxy, who gave you the toxic badge, poison type. I love her gym because it actually plays a song in the background as you hear it. Let's see. And Marlin, who was the water type gym leader, not as just pick another type. You don't really need Marlin.
His lineup's crazy though.
It is.
What is it?
Sense.
It's
Caracosta.
Yeah,
Yes.
and Waylord and Jellison.
Yeah,
that's pretty badass.
Annoying.
Yeah.
All circling level 50.
I might have to get Black and White 2 again for real.
Black and White 2 is elite, man. Go do that for yourself. I don't really like the Elite Four. The Elite Four really have no presence in this game or anything like that. Outside of wherever you battle them, their lairs, I guess, are fucking elite. Like everything moving and all the visuals and the scenery of where you actually battle them, I would go on YouTube, check them out, because you're not going to remember how actually fire all these things looked. But the one thing about the Elite Four is the change in this game is you didn't have to battle them in order. You could pick whichever one you wanted to battle first.
That I like that, actually.
Yeah, me too. I was much more prepared. It was a lot less intense. It was, it was pretty good. I liked it. And we're going to finish this recap of Gen 5. Let's finish it up with the features there in this game. We have the Sea Gear. Your bottom half of your screen.
Yeah, that's cool.
You can customize it. You could have customized it. Don't downplay the Sea Gear. The Sea Gear was fine. You could add a little background to it.
It needed to be done, but whatever.
You can move around little slots things. Like it was pretty. I respect the Sea Gear. The global link. Don't remember that.
It was just a location where you start to. That global link was connect with Pokemon.com.
Yeah. Oh yeah. With the Dream World.
Okay. Yeah, with Dream World. Yeah.
Did you ever go to the Dream World?
You had to get
hidden abilities.
One of the Landorus or something.
I specifically remember going to the Dream World to get hidden ability Gligar.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I needed that poison heal. I just needed it in my life. But yeah, I did the Dream World regularly. Pokemon musicals, I don't think we need to talk about. No one did it. Triple battles.
Blow right past that.
Yeah, suck. Rotations suck.
TMs, infinite use. We're here.
Important.
We're in the future.
Important.
This is the only instance of nerfing that I am a big fan of.
Yeah.
I will say I would take everything before this that they also made easier. And
the XP share now hitting every Pokemon.
Get out of here with
just
that.
One.
That's insane. I don't know if it was worth all the other terrible shit that happened, but the infinite use of these is it makes sense. It changes the game on a drastic level.
Oh yeah.
XP share changes game on a drastic level.
Oh yeah.
It does too,
and not in a good way.
No.
Yeah, I don't use it too much personally.
Easy mode and challenge mode in Black and White too. You were able to, Pat, this is all if you've ever wanted. An easy mode and a hard mode.
That thing on challenge mode.
Listen, challenge mode, I never done it on challenge mode, but I wanted to unlock it, but I always forgot how to unlock it, and then I was like, fuck it, never mind. I'm gonna
look into it again.
I've already invested so much into this game, I don't really need to see if I can beat this in challenge mode and or anything like that, but I'm sure it's harder. Apparently everything is like 2-3 levels up. The gym leaders are harder. They use different moves, different items, different abilities. Not different abilities, but yeah.
Check that out.
Let's see if there's anything that I am missing from this game. Is there anything that you guys liked in this game that we didn't talk about? I loved still the visuals, the Charged Stone Cave.
Mm-hmm.
Which was an electric cave, which is much different than other things. I did the battle subway from time to time, which was the battle frontier, except in subway form.
If they had put a little bit more work into, the mythicals and all that, I think this game could have even went further. I think people did fall off a little bit because no matter what, fans, we still care about, mythical and legendary Pokemon, no matter what. I mean, we may not actually use them per se. I don't, but it's one of those things where it still means something to the franchise to have proper legendaries in your game that have personality or that actually mean something. Not just for your animation movies. You know what I'm saying?
I forgot to talk about
that's
Alder.
A really good point.
Who?
Alder, the champion of this league.
Oh, well.
Alder wasn't hard. He was not as hard as Cynthia. He had Volcarona. He had Bouffalant. But you could really kind of just stone edge him to death, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And then the other champion of the game ended up being Iris in Black and White 2. Again, not a really particularly hard person. In Black and White 2, I believe you could also fight a lot of the old gym leaders.
That's awesome.
Which was cool. They added so much to Black and White 2. Like, it's ridiculous. The Pokemon World Tournament opens up in Driftveil City, where players battle gym leaders and champions from all other regions. Let's see what else they changed in this game. End's Castle, blah blah blah. New team Plasma looked kind of like
End's Castle. They put so much work into that shit. That shit's awesome.
Yeah.
Where's he find this? He's just living in the castle, man.
He just is. He just does, man. He just does.
What is Reshiram?
But yeah, I mean, that is Black and White 2. Black and White 2, Black and White and Black and White 2 is some of my favorite games for a particular reason. Just the story is really, really good. The way that this game is so like it's in like the game is just like it doesn't. There's no distractions from like, okay, nostalgia and all the things like that. Like you're playing this game to just really play this game.
Right.
I'm a fan. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it's one of the better Pokemon games.
100%.
In my opinion. It's up there with, Gold and Silver, Heart Gold,
possibly
Soul
the
Silver.
last good Pokemon game.
Yeah, I think possibly the last like full length, like, whoa, this is legit. I mean, I think everybody's going to enjoy the games to whatever their extent, but this one actually matters all the way through, and that's important.
Yeah.
But we'll see. They got another shot coming up, and we'll be ready.
We'll see what's coming up next. But next episode, we have Pokemon X and Y that we're talking about, which I've only played once, so that should tell you how much I love this game. Pokemon X and Y. What can we preview about that? There's Mega Evolutions that we talk about.
Mega Evolution is probably the big thing. We're in Europe.
There we go.
We're in Europe.
But yes, you can listen to this podcast, Mount Silver, and please check out all the other podcasts. We've already gone through generations 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is generation 5. Make sure you binge them all, stream them all the other things, share them with your friends. We've got more episodes coming up as we continue to lead up to the release of Pokemon Sword and Shield, which drops on November 15th. So make sure you stay tuned. Yeah, man, we live in this post-Ash champion of Pokemon League universe.
It's a crazy world out here, man. The energy's different out here when I walk outside.
It's just different. It really just is.
Ash's champion just means so much more to America right now.
It really, really does. But yeah, man, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for coming through. From myself, you can follow myself at Meelz TV. You can follow Jeff at Old Newsboy. You can follow Pat at Pafifi on Twitter. We're all pretty findable. If you love
for better or worse.
If you would love to continue to discuss more Pokemon, I actually did send out a couple feelers of how people felt about this game. Let me see if I can pull them up real quick. I favorite them, but I think the general consensus was like it was either the last game that they played or it was like a really good game. Yeah, let's see if I can find any of them. My favorites are crazy. Don't look at them.
They should, man. Favorites should be private, man.
That is
Twitter,
true.
What's up, man?
I do. So
Twitter,
sometimes I'll look at favorites to see if I missed anything good. But the algorithm now basically shows me everything. So
yeah,
they gotta hide that.
Let's see. Oh, okay. Shout out to I'm gonna read some of these responses from King John Doe. He says N was the best sociopath antagonist, and Cynthia is still greater than all the other Pokemon champions. So
all
a
facts.
Cynthia truther. Let's see what else did we got there. Team Plasma really said we're bringing back eco-terrorism. Shout out to Johnny Barnes, and froze an entire continent. Still whooped them though. Let's see. My friend Carlos, shout out to Carlos. He says, "'Twas a good gen. The first one was right. The second one was fucking amazing. It's too bad that they didn't have better Pokemon to come out that gen." Oh man, I disagree.
I like the Pokemon from this shit.
Let's see. I said, y'all got any good things to say about Pokemon Black and White? Shoot, the J_Ali says, nope. That's unfortunate. Let's see. Hilbert Hive. No, I'm kidding. His Twitter name is this nigga Amir. All right, didn't know that they let you do that.
I'm saying, dude.
Hilbert Hive. He said, Sawbuck and Deerling changing with the seasons was fire. I thought the season thing was a nice touch, though. Every month, a different season.
It can be cool, but like I don't
like Sawbuck, but yeah.
And it doesn't really work for like the competitive aspect of the game that like the seasonal thing.
Yeah. Was actually surprised how much I enjoyed the game. Shout out to X, Black Ice 392. So you can check him out.
Happy belated birthday too, X.
Yeah, shout out to belated birthday, and wish you all the best future with the Looking Glass and stuff, and I'm sure we'll have him on a podcast in the future. But yeah, that's the general consensus about Black and White. So make sure you stay tuned, stay ready. We will be back next time with Pokemon X and Y on the Mount Silver podcast. See ya.
Peace.